I am going to talk about good writing versus bad. Specifically, I will talk about constructs of writing, and not just any construct, but the construct known as diction. Diction specifically refers to phrase selections and word choices. Diction is a part of any writer's voice and style. I'm going to focus on those word choices, particularly as it pertains to academic writing. What is academic writing? Academic writing is probably best defined as writing from scholars to other scholars. Yes, you are a scholar. How does one do academic writing? If you look up the rules for academic writing, you will find a long list of things to do and not to do. You've probably heard many of these things before. Don't write in first person. Don't use figures of speech. Don't use italics or boldface. Don't use informal language or slang. Certainly do not use racist language. And for crying out loud, don't ever use swear words. All of these ideas of what not to do are built into this construct called diction. And your conception of this is probably, of course. Mystery solved. This all makes sense. This must be true. These things only belong in creative writing, never the more professional academic papers, right? It is important to understand that this conception is truly a misconception. It is not actually factual. This construct is something someone made up, an invention. Once you really take a look, you will find that various scholars have different ideas about what is or is not appropriate in a good academic paper. Often what will be considered appropriate in an academic paper is somewhat dependent on the audience that will see your work as well as its intended purpose. A report written for your colleagues may require different word selections than a report written for your boss. Sometimes it is a good idea to talk to your intended audience, if possible, such as a professor or boss, to find out if there is any particular way they prefer to see the assignment written. But there really is nothing stopping you from using rainbows and glitter in your academic papers on occasion when you are dealing with anything rhetorical. There are texts that will tell you that it is just fine to express your opinion with the use of first person. Why must an academic paper be dry and uninteresting? This preconceived notion that academic works and creative works are opposite is a false concept. Figures of speech, slang, and even swear words, when properly placed for the correct reason, can help to emphasize a point better than the standard and boring prose of what we call professional language. Word choice is important, and like any spice, it can be misused, thus spoiling your soup. Here are some examples of word choices that were used in my personal college-level essays this semester. The essays each received a top score, despite perhaps some unconventional word choices. Sheeple. Women are worthless pieces of shit and deserve to be used. Got your back. Drinking the bong water. A touch of zombie apocalypse. I am the chicken lady. As odd as those may sound, they each make sense in context, but they break the rules of conventional descriptions of academic word selection. Look closely and you will see prestigious newspaper columns use a creative turn of phrase, important journals using metaphors and similes. You will see papers concerning linguistics unflinchingly discussing the finer points of words such as fuck, all well within the confines of acceptability. Despite being an academic piece, I have mentioned chickens, zombies, and bong water in a span of less than 5 minutes throughout this presentation. You can find the line between academics and enjoyment when you write, and your reader can learn your argument and be entertained. Mildly entertained. But it doesn't have to be this. It could be this. And it doesn't have to be this when it can be this. It can be a compelling argument based on factual discourse and be entertaining, all at once.